Hello everyone, my name is Asyrafchazz and welcome back to yet another One Piece card game video. And in this video, we're going to take a look at some of the prices for the OP-04 alternate arts. Now, the set has been out for about a couple of weeks now, almost a month. And, you know, prices have been fluctuating like crazy. Some of it's been affected by the meta game itself. And also, you know, generally the supply is abundant, so prices are kind of down. But in the meantime, let's take a look at the OP-04 prices for the alternate arts and see what's the most expensive card right now in the set. I mean, like, of course, it's going to be Manga Sabo, but we'll take a look at the rest of the cards as well. Alright, let's go. But before we do that, a word from the sponsor of this video. Thank you ErgoWorks once again for sponsoring this video. Now, I'm a pretty big guy, and I sit around all day working on my videos or testing out games for content, so it really takes a toll on my body. And I've been using the Truly Perfect chair recently, and it's honestly such a lifesaver for my back. The Truly Perfect chair is fully adjustable and customizable to every individual, and is designed to optimize your posture's well-being. The amount of adjustability and unrestricted tilt tension adjustment capability provided by an ergonomic office chair maintains your spine's natural position even when sitting for long periods of time. So you won't be bothered by discomfort even after a few hours of grinding out on the sim. You can choose from a wide selection of ergonomic office chairs in various shapes, sizes, and colors. Seriously, this chair has been an absolute lifesaver for my back. I spend an unhealthy amount of time at my desk, so this chair really makes it comfortable for me to work for long hours when I'm at my desk working on content for this channel. You can trade in any of your old chairs that you have and get 10% off the Truly Perfect chair. And I also have a promo code Asyraf10 that you can use for 10% off store-wide. You can find out more at their website, link will be in the description below. So thank you again ErgoWorks for sponsoring this video and get yourself your ErgoWorks Truly Perfect chair today. Seriously, this chair, life-changing. Alright, before we go into the other cards, I want to take a look at the SP cards, which is the special cards, the special rarity from this set. So I'm gonna give like my own experience on how the prices are and then what the prices are on screen right now, as you can see. So if you are unsure about the rarity or the rate of this, it's actually a 1 in every case. And the fact that it's 1 in every case and some of the prices are really low, that's good for collectors, right? So the most expensive one is, you know, no surprise there, it's Boa Hancock, but if you take a look, it's only 7,980 yen. So how I'm gonna do the conversion is like every 1,000 yen is equal to like about 10 Singapore dollars, which if you convert it to USD is even cheaper. So Boa Hancock, the most expensive out of the SP cards, yes for sure, but it's only $80, which is super surprising for me. I was expecting this card to be crazy expensive, like at least $150, maybe even $200, but the fact that it's only sitting at $80 means that people are not really like keen on like collecting these cards, or at least they don't see that there's like a value in them, even though the rarity is crazy high because it's 1 in every case, 1 in every 12 boxes. But that's good. I mean, isn't that a good thing for collectors like me who eventually would want to pick up some of this SP? I only picked up the Edward Newgate because it was like $30. But eventually, if I want to pick up a Boa Hancock, it's only $80. So that's really good. Then if we look at the second most expensive, it's Trafalgar Law. And because, you know, Trafalgar Law is really popular, it's a playable card as well. This is, I believe, the Trafalgar Law from OP-01. And it's about $60. That's great. If you're looking to spend some cash and you don't want to chase, you don't want to open up boxes, you can actually just buy the singles. You just have to find out where you can buy it from. Then yeah, Magellan, less than 20, Sakazuki about $20. Magellan maybe not as popular as some of the other characters on this list, but still, it's a cool looking artwork. And if you are intending to collect the SPs, they're pretty affordable. In my opinion, yes, they are really quite affordable. Looking at the rarity, it's crazy how affordable these cards are. Alright, next let's take a look at the leaders. Now, the leaders kind of fluctuated a little bit. I remember Vivi was selling at $150 upon release, 150 Singapore dollars by the way, and then it dropped on day one. It dropped to about 80. People were selling it for about $80, $90, and now it's kind of going back up. So Vivi and Rebecca are sitting at about $128, almost $130, which is kind of where you would expect like female characters to be at for the leader slots. Nami was about around that price. Now it's kind of dropped a little bit. But Rebecca, being one of the more popular leaders, playability wise, it's sitting quite decent at this kind of price point. And then Vivi, just a really popular character, great artwork, definitely a collector piece, and it's sitting at around the same price, $128. So there you go. If you're looking to get these two leaders specifically, you're gonna shell out a little bit more than $100 for each of these cards, so it's gonna be a little bit more expensive. Then next is looking at Doflamingo, which is also a very popular OP-04 leader. I think it's the most popular OP-04 leader out of all of these, aside from Rebecca and Queen, and it's sitting at almost $80, which is where you would expect a playable leader to be. Like if you take a look at Whitebeard's pricing from OP-02, it was about 80 after like the Moby Dick banning, so that's where you should expect it to be. And then Queen is also really popular, but it's not as popular as a character as compared to Doflamingo. It's $50. It's okay. Isho is about 34, almost 35, and Crocodile being the least popular leader playability wise from OP-04. It's kind of sad because I really like Crocodile as a leader. It's just not as powerful as the rest of them, but sitting at $30, so I might still pick it up. I am going to collect every single alternate art leader, just haven't, you know, made the purchases yet, so gotta have to wait till after July before I start picking all these leaders up. Now we're gonna briefly look at the rare alternate arts. Now, if your box, which you spend about like $60 to $70 on, has, you know, every box has like one alternate art, and if you pull like one of these, then you're not getting a very good return. Like for example, one of the boxes that I opened during the live stream had a treble, and it's less than $10, so it's not really that, you know, great of a card to pull. So it's kind of risky to buy boxes now if you know that, you know, there's a chance for you to get like a treble or even a Mr. 5, which is like less than $8. It's not really that worth buying a box unless you're like sure you're gonna get something really good. I mean, of course, that's TCG things, right? It's essentially just gambling. But yeah, rares across the board, not that expensive. Of course, the most expensive being Capone Gang Beige. It is a 2000 plus 2000 counter with a really powerful trigger effect for yellow. I would love to get a playset. I'm expecting Kairos to go up a little bit once Rebecca kind of got a little bit more popular, and if someone manages to break Diamante, or at least use him in like tournament results and top with it, then of course the alternate arts will go up. So overall, I think this is kind of normal for rare slots. So let's take a look at the super rare alternate arts. Alright, just roughly, I'm gonna show like the top half first, and then I'll scroll down to show the other three. But okay, we won't talk about Manga Sabo just yet. Let's just talk about the normal alternate arts. Of course, one of the most playable ones and one of the most popular ones is Sabo. I think out of every one of them, Sabo is actually the biggest winner for the alternate arts, almost sitting at $70. Yeah, this is similar to the Ace effect. You know, Ace from OP-02 alternate art was also sitting around $70 to $80, and guess Sabo is following suit. The manga is a little bit different than Ace, but we'll talk about that in a bit. Then the rest across the board, yeah, it's not really that expensive. Doflamingo is almost at $40, but the rest of them are like below 30. But then you take a look at Sanji, playable card for yellow, definitely a really like a chase piece, almost $50. Yamato, very playable for the blue yellow queen list, so almost at 50. And then Luffy, almost at $40, almost like $35. This is the alternate art that is heavily used in Rebecca because it's Dressrosa. So also very up there in terms of pricing. And then let's talk about Manga Sabo. I have to kind of move it a little bit so that you guys can see it. Apologize. Okay, Manga Sabo right below me right here. It's $800. Like Manga Rares have kind of taken a little bit of a hit. Shanks is still kind of up there above 1k. Ace is still up there also. Some people have been selling it for a little bit less, but usually it's above 1000. But Soga King and Sabo have taken a big hit. Maybe they're not as popular as characters, or maybe in the case of OP-04, there's just a lot of Sabos out there. A lot of people have been breaking products like crazy. And you know, like in the span of like the first week or so, we've seen like a lot of Sabo just enter the market, which means that the prices won't be like as high because it's not like super difficult to get. You can, it's still you know, it's still deserving of the price point for sure, but it's not as huge as like 1000 plus. It's only sitting at about 800, and you probably could get it cheaper from like if you buy it from a player. So if you are a Sabo fan, if you are a manga rare collector, then that's good news for you because it's a little bit more cheaper than other manga rares out there. Not as cheap as Soga King, of course, but it's still lesser than 1,000. Given its drop rate, you know, 1 in every how many cases, I say it's a decent price, but you know, get it if you love it, but I wouldn't, you know, wouldn't count that. But the most surprising thing out of everything else is like Miss All Sunday. It's like $25. Good for me, I can get a playset now. But if we move on to the alternate arts for the secret rares, so we got Vivi and of course Corazon. They're not sitting that bad as well. Vivi, if you get an alternate art of a secret rare in a box, the box will cost more than the alternate art itself. Vivi is sitting at almost $50 and Corazon is sitting at $30. So this is good for collectors. I don't know how it's gonna be like as like investment or like, oh, long-term hold. Right now you cannot think about One Piece that way because it doesn't have that longevity as compared to like Pokemon or like old school Yu-Gi-Oh or even Magic the Gathering. I don't think like prices will reach crazy to that amount. I mean, of course, like the pricing, serial Luffy's, like major top 32 pricing, those cards will still retain its value because you know, there's not a lot of copies out there. But with this like alternate arts and everything else, great for collectors. Kind of hold your horses if you want to invest into this. I think the best way to think about it is like if you're a manga rare collector, go get it when it's at a good price. And if you're like me who collects only, you know, specifically full sets of the alternate art leaders, then I think this is a good buy. You can kind of wait for them to drop a little bit. These prices tend to fluctuate according to the meta game, but something like VV, I think 128 is a reasonable one price. I was ready to buy it at 150 upon release, but I waited and it dropped to 80 and then I didn't get it because I was like, I'll just wait for it. And then now it went back up again, but it's a price that I'm willing to pay because I know it's only 2 in every case and I'm not going to buy any more cases. So yeah, if it's for my collection, then I wouldn't mind paying that amount, but you have to kind of take it as this is going to my collection. This is going to like stay with me because I like the card. Get it because you like the card, not because, oh, in 5 to 10 years it's going to be worth like $1,000. There's a lot of great investment in this. Honestly, there's no way of telling. You know, they may reprint this to the ground and then all your investments will kind of crash. But when it comes to a higher rarity cards such as the manga rare, the special rares, and of course the alternate leaders, I think it's a little bit more safer. But of course, if there's nobody that is interested in getting them, you have to kind of see it's supply and demand. So you have to see if it's a risk that you're willing to take. I am, because I want to collect alternate leaders anyway. So yeah, there you go. I went off on a little bit of a tangent, but collectors rejoice. Prices are okay for OP-04. Then that's great news. So there you go. I just really want to talk about the OP-04 pricing. I'm using YYT or UUT as a website. Link is in the description below if you want to check it out for yourself. And yeah, what do you think about the pricing? Is it good news that it's not going to be super expensive if you want to collect certain alternate arts? Are the alternate arts a good investment to go? You know, only time will tell. The closest comparison you can have is like to Digimon, but you know, some alternate arts are great, some alternate arts aren't worth that much. So I think it's going to be the same case for One Piece as well. But I'm interested to know what you think, and let me know in the comment section below what do you think about the pricing for the OP-04 alternate arts. We'll do another video in the future talking about the pricing regarding like all the other sets or like the top few cards, because I'm interested to see. I am very interested to see like the market fluctuations. I'm gonna go take a look at the OP-02, OP-03 leaders and see how my collection is faring. Anyway, that's it from me for today. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.